Croissant. This is what the pink is. There goes the water. There's chickens down there.
Or you can stop like we've been done.
Mount Pupuohia. This is not where you're turning.
Wasn't as good as the first time.
Yes, it was.
I had to go with the Portuguese sausage croissant. I'm gonna do like a wee.
Okay, so this was kind of like, it was one of the more fun.
Aloha. We are dressed. Hello. Looking over at Hilton Head. The menu has a
It's Diamond Head.
What did I say?
You said Hilton.
Oh no! Hello and welcome to another episode of Must See Adventures. I am alive and well. So what does that mean, Elizabeth?
I don't know.
It means I didn't wake you up in the middle of the night. I didn't wake you up at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock. No, we slept till 6:20 a.m. today. And was that an acceptable time?
It was. It was the first time on this trip that I have woken up and looked out our balcony window and it has not been pitch black out. So the sun was actually starting to rise.
The sun was rising.
Before we did this morning.
Here's a little clip of that sun rising. The surfers were out early. I mean, you gotta catch the first wave, right, Liz? You gotta be out there early.
Is there such a thing as the first wave?
No, the first wave happened millions of years ago, but yes, you just want to get the first batch of waves for the day. Oh, what's this in the background? That's our latest Must See Adventure video. We just posted it, you know. I scheduled it ahead of time before we left for Hawaii, since we're going to be gone several days. Just wanted to make sure our fans, you know how many there are of you, had an episode while we were traveling. You know, it was kind of cool. We're watching the sunrise from our balcony, just relaxing, talking, listening to the sounds of the waves. But then we were looking out at Diamond Head. We were like, oh my gosh, at this time yesterday, we were climbing Diamond Head. So I really hope you enjoyed yesterday's episode. What's the plan for today? Well, first off, I got a blue Aloha shirt, rocking an Aloha shirt today. Didn't want to wear this on any day that Michigan was playing, if you get what I'm saying. But we talked about the shaka guides that I really love, and there's a downtown Honolulu one, which we did not do last time. So since we're kind of close to that area, Liz and I thought, hey, I don't know where Liz went. I was gonna like point to her, but she's gone. She's probably tired of me already. But yeah, so we're gonna do the downtown Honolulu driving tour. We got dinner planned. It's just gonna be a chill day. We're not getting in our swimsuits quite yet, but if you spend a day in Hawaii and don't go into your swimsuit, then you were probably working, or B, you weren't on vacation. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you should really always be in your swimsuit in Hawaii. Anyway, let's grab a bite at the Royal Hawaiian Bakery, hit the road, and see where our shaka guide takes us today.
So we noticed that there was this ice machine right outside our room. But what we didn't know is, in addition to the ice, it's also got water. So this is like a great pack because it's right on our way, right outside our room.
Is right here. Is that
and then the elevator's right there. So like we're going from our room to the elevator. So this is a great spot to just quick fill up our water bottles.
Yeah, I haven't really showed this either. Like the hallway is like super cute. And all these rooms are beachfront rooms. So here's our room right here. We're the first one off the elevator. And you just kind of walk down here. They have like a window slightly cracked open, but it's super cute. And most importantly, it smells fantastic in here. I don't know if we talked about the smell of this resort, but it is so tropical, so great. And I love the smell of the body wash. They have this like a mango body wash and shampoo. I smell tropical all day long. I made our order for breakfast at the Royal Hawaiian Bakery, and I'm just walking here and I see these great rockers. And who is this at the end? Hey, Lizzie. Now this seems like a cool spot for breakfast.
I just realized I was wearing my pink shirt today. It's like going for the whole Pink Palace experience today with my Royal Hawaiian latte, and then I've even gotten a pink croissant that's in here and a pink cronut.
Should we take a peek in just to take a look?
Sure. I got this royal custard croissant here. Is the striped one that's got some, I don't know what it's gonna be. There's a sparkly pink cronut in here. I can pull it out a little so you can see it.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then Scott got his Portuguese sausage croissant again. So we'll see how they are. Looks pretty good.
So I'm just chilling here at the Royal Hawaiian. I got the Royal Hawaiian Bakery over here. I got the check-in desk behind me. And I'm enjoying the Royal Hawaiian bakery latte. But yesterday, so we were in the ocean for a long time, just floating and all that. I had my sunshirt on, but I still put sunscreen on. You know, I got my legs, got my face, the back of my neck. But as I got into my inner tube, my swimsuit kind of rose up on me, so my knees were exposed. Did not put sunscreen on my knees, and like look what that does.
I don't know if this is, I don't know if it picks it up all the way, but man, your legs are red. It looks like he's got red knee pads on.
Yeah, I got red knee pads, or lobster knees as I call them. Or you've been calling me Scotty Red Knee.
Scotty Red Knee. Yeah.
My PSA is, while you think your knees may be covered, they're going to be exposed. So put some sunscreen on those babies.
As most mornings in Waikiki do, our day started off the classic way, stuck in traffic. As we slowly made our way through the traffic, we passed by the Baskin-Robbins where former President Barack Obama once worked. That sparked our memory that we actually had done bits and pieces of this tour on the last day of our previous trip. This apartment building is actually where President Barack Obama lived as a teenager. One thing we love about the Shaka Guide app is that it's not just about Hawaiian history, it also mixes in fun facts about celebrities and famous folks who've called the islands home. It's a cool blend of culture and pop trivia that keeps the drive entertaining. Right there is the Punahou School. Founded way back in 1841, it's one of the oldest schools in the U.S. west of the Mississippi. And you'll never guess which celebrity attended this school. That's right, it was a young Barack Obama who walked these halls long before he had the Secret Service tagging along. We're headed towards Manoa Valley for our first stop of the day. Just look at how beautiful this drive is through the lush residential area. I can't even imagine living here. Manoa Valley is famous for its taro farms, which is an important staple in both Hawaiian culture and cuisine. Plus, it's surrounded by some of the island's most incredible rainforest trails and waterfalls, perfect for a family hike or just soaking in the amazing scenery. Manoa Valley is home to the Manoa Falls Trail, a hike through a tropical rainforest that leads to a 150-foot waterfall. We're skipping the hike today since we've done it before, and to our disappointment, there was no water at the waterfall the last time we visited. We even checked again today, and nope, it's still dry. I just love the tree canopies on this drive. They're so cool. It's still a cool hike with a nice rainforest view, but it's also very steep, and with hiking Diamond Head yesterday, that's an easy pass for us today. Since we're not hiking Manoa Falls today, we drove right past the trailhead and instead drove up to the Harold L. Lyon Arboretum. This 200-acre botanical garden, established in 1918, is like a living museum filled with tropical and native Hawaiian plants. With over 6,000 species and 7 miles of peaceful hiking trails, it's the perfect spot to connect with nature.
We're at the Lyon Arboretum.
University of Hawaii.
The University of Hawaii has a big piece of it, and it's like these awesome gardens. You might need a reservation, but we'll just see what happens.
Let's check it out. We are here at the Lyon Arboretum, and we kind of just made our way here on our Shaka Guide tour. It told us to come back this way if we wanted to see the Arboretum. We found the little welcome center, and the really nice lady in there explained to us where we were. We're like, we're not exactly sure what this is or what to do. They do take reservations to come to the Arboretum, but they also allow for walk-ins. So we had to sign in. She gave us a map and explained to us what we were gonna be able to go and see. So there's a main trail path that will take you through different gardens. This is part of the University of Hawaii, where they do different research on plants and testing different, different growing methods and things like that. And so we're gonna get to go and explore, and there's a few different trails that you can take. She said it's a little less than a mile to do the full main trail, and there's some little spots that you can stop off along the way. So we're gonna go and check it out.
One additional thing to note, they do accept like small donations, so I don't think it's mandatory, but if you do come here, plan to just donate a few bucks for each person. It goes to the university and their research, so highly recommended to make a donation.
We weren't entirely sure what we had arrived to when we got to the Arboretum. We just knew that the tour guide had told us to make our way here. We made a "we don't have a reservation" donation and headed off down one of the many trails. Just a few minutes from the city, and suddenly you're in this wild mix of tropical jungle and curated garden. One thing that stood out to us right away was the peaceful vibe. The only sounds were the birds, rustling leaves, and our own footsteps on the gravel paths. There were only a few other people around, and it never felt crowded. It felt more like we had stumbled into someone's backyard rainforest. If their backyard just happened to be a 200-acre research garden, that is.
Look at this.
It's really pretty.
It is. I don't know if you want to pan around.
Yeah, we're on our way to Inspiration Point, where you can look at the Manoa Valley.
Manoa Valley, yep.
Look at this. It's so peaceful too, so I like how they limit the reservations, because I think it just creates more peace, less people.
We followed the path up toward Inspiration Point. It was an easy, shaded walk surrounded by tropical plants. As we climbed a little higher, the views just kept getting better and better, and we could really feel the calm that this place is known for.
We're sitting here at the Inspiration Point here in the gardens, and we're looking down at the Manoa Valley. It is unbelievable.
It's so pretty, and you can just hear the birds chirping and the sun is shining. It's a bit sticky out, I would say. I don't feel like I came prepared for a hike through a valley, but the views are beautiful.
The views are beautiful. My knees are burning as we're sitting on this bench, but just look at this though.
Since it was a Monday and most of our friends and family back at home were stuck at work, we couldn't not send a few selfies of how our day was going. You know, just spreading a little aloha and maybe a little bit of jealousy.
So this is the bromeliad garden, which is a pineapple plant. And then there's different trails that you can take. We're gonna go this way, which we might regret.
One of my favorite things that we spotted was a patch of pineapple plants. Tiny pineapples growing right out of the center. You don't always get to see them up close.
There's so much inspiration here, and like some of my favorite plants can even be found here. Like this one right here. Love that one. Oh, that's one of my favorite plants. Ooh, I love this one. It gives me so much inspiration.
We also came across a Buddha statue tucked into the greenery. It felt almost like a secret garden moment. All around us there was something new to discover. Giant ferns, towering palms, and flowers in just about every color you can imagine. It's hard to believe we were just stuck in Waikiki traffic not that long ago. We ended up spending about an hour exploring the Arboretum, and even though it was our first stop of the day, it turned out to be one of the most surprising and relaxing parts of our whole trip. Before we could get back to our tour, we had just one last mystery to solve: how to get back down to the Manoa trailhead.
Oh, there's a cat right there.
Oh wow, there's a cat. I don't know if I've got it on there, but if you maybe see that cat over there. There's some little houses up here too, which I'm really intrigued by. So this will be an interesting drive down because if you see how narrow this road is, you've got a fairly big vehicle.
One way, basically.
But it's not one way.
Kind of pull over, I guess.
There might be some little pullovers, yeah.
Like these little driveways.
Maybe. So we'll see. Hopefully.
It's like I want to go fast just to make sure no one comes, but then.
Yeah, there's a lot of turns and things. So.
But that was great. I really enjoyed it. It does get a little buggy up there because we did the Manoa Falls a couple of years ago and it was extremely buggy.
Tons of mosquitoes. This wasn't as bad. There was just like a lot of like little ants and things that seemed like they might bite. I wasn't really dressed for a hike, but I think it was well worth it. I'm glad
we may have done more, if we had
had better and dressed better, like if we had been prepared. So this is where I thought we were supposed to park earlier.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't.
And it was like staff.
Well, they're all
parking.
reserved spots, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then now this is where the Manoa Falls trailhead is. Streams are not flowing, so there's not really any waterfalls to see right around here right now. So that's another reason we're like, yeah, we're definitely not going to do that Manoa Falls hike again with no waterfall again. Hopefully these people will move out of the way a little, like as cars coming by. I think they think that this is like the hiking trail and don't realize that it's a road. I don't know if people know that that arboretum is even back there, because we definitely didn't, and it seemed like the lady was surprised that we showed up. So
he's pointing out some of his favorite plants.
I know, what's he pointing out? One of his favorite plants. Is there like a lizard or a bug? What is he seeing?
Lots of chickens. Oh, there's
Where's
baby
the
chickens. Hello, babies. Hello, babies.
This is one of the more fun days we had because, you know, all the hard work was over. We don't have to play anymore. We can just relax and have fun with our friends. So I think we didn't like have to wake up super early. I think we left the hotel around 9 a.m. and we headed towards the Dole Plantation. So that was going to be our first stop of the day. We were planning to have kind of like a North Shore exploring day. So we started at the Dole Plantation. We didn't really have that much time there. I'd say maybe like 40 minutes. It was enough time to all get some Dole Whips with the pineapple on top, because that's what you have to do, and enough time to also look at the shops. So that was really fun. The Dole Whip was so good. Like, I'm not a big fan of Dole Whip at Disney. I think it's really overhyped and not very good. But something about Dole Whip in Hawaii, it's completely different, way better. You can't even compare the two. But then we also had time to explore the shop. I got a little keychain. I think there was a picture of it. We'll probably put in now. And I don't know, it was a fun start to the day. My friends and I all tried to wear yellow because we knew we were going to the Dole Plantation. So we tried to coordinate with that.
I don't know if you can see downtown Honolulu ahead of us. So we're making our way out of the Manoa Falls area.
Next up, we made a quick stop at the Manoa Chinese Cemetery, Hawaii's oldest and largest Chinese cemetery. It's tucked right into a quiet hillside neighborhood, and it's very stunning. The whole layout follows feng shui principles: ocean in front, mountains in back, and even a giant banyan tree that was planted here to honor the community's grand ancestor. Pretty cool, right? Scott really wanted to explore a bit deeper into the cemetery, as he really likes looking at the different styles of grave sites. And to be fair, the views here are pretty breathtaking. History and hillside real estate, hard to beat. But for me, I was ready to keep the tour moving. It was a bit hot out that day.
I'm so inspired even by the cemetery, because look at these, like, I know we're gonna go to the temple probably later this trip, and that also is a cemetery, but like, what a beautiful place to be buried.
I know, it is really pretty through here, like these views of the mountains. I just don't think the video probably does it justice.
And this family, June 11th, 1839 is when they were born.
Wow.
Passed away in 1940, right before Pearl Harbor. Actually, a year to the day before.
Wow,
Pearl Harbor.
That's wild.
A year and a day. Oh, look at it up there.
And we're not gonna go all the way.
You don't want to?
I don't know if we're parked in a good spot.
As you can see in the distance, there is a neighborhood that surrounds the cemetery. Here we are in this calm and peaceful cemetery with mountain vistas behind us, and just over the hill, someone's grilling their lunch in their backyard. This is classic Hawaii: nature, history, and neighborhoods all combined.
So after looking at the awesome cemetery, our shaka guy took us to a marketplace. So we're like, yeah, I like grocery stores. Remember, is there a store that I've seen that I haven't liked?
I don't know.
You said last night, though, I'm the worst person to shop with.
He's a little bit.
All right. Shout out to my boy Wade, because I know you like to shop too. But look at this. I've never seen this before. These are big boys. These are 24-ounce Diet Pepsis. Like, those are massive. I don't think I'm gonna get those. I don't think we're in Texas, but everything seems to be bigger in Oahu. Look at this, Scoopapalooza, Ben & Jerry's, massive. Yes, we're at McDonald's. It's the only place in this area, and we're just gonna get like a cheeseburger just to hold us off to a normal meal. And what's interesting about this location is that the drive-thru is separated from the main building.
Yeah, like there's a separate building where they give you the food, not from the main building. We were curious how the food made it over there.
And we're just hanging out. After our order, we turned our head, and then bam, we saw a bag get shot up through a conveyor belt.
There's like a conveyor belt chute that goes across the two buildings and connects them. So they make the food in the main building and conveyor belt it over to the outer building for the drive-thru. It's really strange.
It's really strange, but kind of a smart concept, though. Maybe. So we're re-energized with a little Coke from McDonald's, and let's continue on.
Next up, we're making the scenic climb up Mount Tantalus, also known as Round Top Drive. This road is full of twists, turns, and tropical views over the cliffside. There's nothing quite like this back at home.
We are currently following our Shaka guide, and we are making our way up Tantalus Mountain, or Mount Tantalus, which is the nickname for Mount Pu'uohia, I believe. We've been listening to some interesting stories about how the mountain got its nickname, and about, I think, the Round Top Road, and the fact that this mountain is called Round Top because it has a round top. Very creative. But also is called the Mountain of the Rolling Sweet Potato because apparently there were some sweet potato farms up here, and people used to roll them down the hill to get them from the mountain down to the valley. So I don't know. He said be careful and not to roll down like a sweet potato. We just had a truck pass us going really fast, which is crazy because this is a really narrow, windy road, but we're gonna make our way nice and easy. Hang loose, baby.
This drive is equal parts beautiful and bananas. Lush rainforest? Check. Hairpin turns? Double check. A guardrail that makes you really want to stay in your lane? Absolutely. This winding hillside road is where Elvis kicked off Blue Hawaii, movie magic right here on Round Top Drive.
Here we are. We made it to Mount Tantalus, the top of Round Top. And just look at this gorgeous view. We'll show you some more here of Honolulu. I remember this is the last thing we did on our last trip before going to the airport. And I remember my friend, Aloha George, I believe he called this place Lover's Lane.
Oh, really?
This is where you would take like your spouse or your partner or whatever and just hang out and just look at the gorgeous sights. So let's take a walk down and get a better look.
When you finally get to the top, the payoff is totally worth it. Honolulu, Waikiki, Diamond Head, it's all laid out right in front of you like a giant vacation postcard. It's so beautiful from up here. You can even make out the Pink Palace down there on the coast.
Yeah, this drive has been just kind of like spectacular. Scott finally like commented a couple times. He's like, "Are you okay? Like, is my driving making you nervous?" And I'm like,
oh my God, let's show the GPS of what all these curves are about to do.
This is just a small example. This whole thing has been the most like hairpin turns all around.
But look at this view coming up.
I think that's just a roof.
I can see something.
You can see the ocean.
Look at this little car. Look at this curve.
That one wasn't even as tight as some of them.
After soaking up those incredible views at the top of Mount Tantalus, we began our journey back down. And let me tell you, this drive is no walk in the park. Honestly, I'd argue it's even more nerve-wracking than going up. But lucky for us, Scott handled those tight turns like a pro. We just took it slow, leaned into the curves, and enjoyed the rainforest vibes. While I pretended not to grip the door handle the whole way down.
Just taking a little pit stop on the drive down.
Yeah, so it said like the Waikiki's backyard rainforest tour. Did you hear that chicken? I just heard a rooster crowing. I've been amazed at the number of chickens we've seen even up here on the mountain, like weaving our way up here. But yeah, like definitely looks like a rainforest back here. So who knew? You're just, not that far from Waikiki. So many chickens.
Crazy curve coming up. Look at this driveway.
Whoa, some of these driveways, it's like people live all the way up here and down these steep, narrow driveways. It's crazy. We just came out of the rainforest and now there's like just like a neighborhood. And these houses just have these views, you know?
Unbelievable.
Views for days of Honolulu and the ocean. But like, literally, we were just in a rainforest and now there's just, then we ended up in a neighborhood. Yeah, so we're just making our way. Scott's been our driver. We've had our shaka tours as our navigator. And we're coming to a little stop because we've got a lot of traffic right here. Not traffic, but cars parked along the sides of the road. It's wild how like dense some of the housing is.
What animal did I just see? I pointed it out. You knew what it was. I thought it was a rat.
Scott was like, look, it's an animal. It was a mongoose. We saw a mongoose up here in the rainforest. We also saw a lot
gotta show this
of
view,
roosters.
though.
Yeah, it's hard to get the views from the car.
But I mean, we saw this on top of
Tantalus.
Yeah.
But like now we're getting closer to the city. We're coming back down. So it's kind of a different view than when we came up because we were going through more of like a forested area. So anyway, the drive has been very cool.
Let's find out what Emmalee and her friends in the band have been up to since the Dole Plantation.
So from there, we continued the drive towards the North Shore, where we stopped in Haleiwa town, and I think we had like 2 hours here, which, so me and a couple of my friends, a lot of people were staying like towards the bus area, but we were navigating towards food because it was in like this list of things that was like recommended to eat. And so we found this, quite literally, I feel like it was like a hole in the wall because like there wasn't even a door, it was more of like a curtain. But it was really good. I can't remember the name of it, but we had like a kind of like traditional plate lunch and it was really good. We also did see a couple other people from the school group there, but it was a good lunch. And then we made our way back down and had some of the Matsumoto shave ice. I will be having more of this later in the trip. Spoiler alert. But it was really good. And then we went back on the bus and then we had, I think, like an hour and a half drive to the Polynesian Cultural Center. So during this drive, there's also some traffic, some pretty bad traffic we ran into. But a lot of people started to like fall asleep. I kind of just like put my music in. I'm like, you know, I'll relax, have some downtime.
Our next visit was to the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific, also known as Punchbowl Crater Memorial. This was our first time visiting here, and after going to Pearl Harbor a couple of times now, we thought that it was time for us to pay our respects to the men and women of the armed forces who are buried here. At the center of the site is the Honolulu Memorial, dedicated in 1964. Here you'll find large mosaic maps and detailed panels that trace the major battles that were fought across the Pacific during World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. It's a powerful reminder of the scale and sacrifice of those conflicts. The memorial was established in 1949 within the crater of an ancient volcano. It gets its name Punchbowl due to the shape of the crater. It's the final resting place for over 53,000 service members and their families. The cemetery honors those who served in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. As you climb the grand staircase toward the memorial, you're greeted by a 30-foot statue of Lady Columbia, representing the United States. She's often described as the embodiment of grieving mothers who send their sons and daughters to war. Her gaze is solemn but peaceful. It's one of those statues that just stops you in your tracks. A fun fact is you might have seen Lady Columbia, as she's featured at the start of every Hawaii 5-0 episode.
Just walked through the Punchbowl Memorial. Very well done memorial. Kind of makes us think of like a monument memorial type thing that we see in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, it definitely gave me that same feeling.
And this is a cemetery here. Liz pointed out, we tend to go to a lot of cemeteries where there's like unknown soldiers there, which you will find here as well.
I mean, not a lot, but there's not that many, and I feel like we've been to quite a few.
So now we're gonna walk up to a lookout here and continue on with our tour. We have dinner in about 4 hours. I don't even know if we're gonna finish the whole tour today. That's what's great about these shaka tours, I think, because you can do them at your own pace. You can just drive through all these things, or you can stop like we've been doing at a lot of these and just take it all in. We just left Punchbowl. It's kind of interesting. It has that name because it's surrounded by this crater.
The crater is shaped like a punch bowl. Like, it's flat and round on the inside. Oh, look at the river.
And now we are in Honolulu to go see a waterfall, which, put in the comments, are we going to see a waterfall, yes or no? Because I feel like we're not. But look at this little cool river here. So now we're going to walk through this little garden area here in downtown Honolulu, basically. And my man says there's a waterfall at the end. But based on my experiences, I kind of am starting to believe that waterfalls don't exist on Oahu. So put in the comments, yes or no. Will there be a waterfall when we get there? But I'll tell you what, the scenery is beautiful. We just talked to a kind local on this path. Everyone's so friendly, eh? All right, let's go have some fun.
Just to show you, like, we really are right in the city. You can hear some sirens. There's these condos or apartments right here. So even though we're in this botanical garden and you have that pretty stream right there, we are right in the city.
Well, what do you know?
Hey, and there's actually a waterfall.
I was proven wrong. It's really pretty. I mean, you can't get too close to it, but the sound is really nice and it's very peaceful through these gardens. There's a mongoose walking. Not sure if it's picking up.
It's so fun. Honolulu, and we're in front of the Hawaii Supreme Court building and a statue of King Kamehameha. King Kamehameha was one of the first kings of Hawaii, and what we heard from our Shaka Guide tour was that I believe this might be the building that they used as the police headquarters in the show Hawaii 5-0.
And across the street, he's looking at
ʻIolani Palace, the only palace in the U.S.
Let's take a closer look.
Right across the street from the Supreme Court building is ʻIolani Palace, the only official royal palace within the United States. This was the home of Hawaii's last reigning monarchs, and it still shines with regal charm and rich history. You can tour inside of the palace, either with a guide or at your own pace. We knew that we wouldn't have time for it today, but if it's on your list, definitely check ahead for hours and availability and book early, as they can fill up fast. After all, how often do you get the chance to walk through an actual royal palace in the US?
It's wide open. Hello, we are back, and you were like, man, I've seen that view a ton, Scott. Well, it's a spectacular view. I can't help it. But we wrapped up our fun tour on our own today, looking at the palace, and that basically just wrapped it up. We almost did every single stop that my Shaka guy had us doing on the tour. It was spectacular. Probably about 4 to 5 hours. Had so much fun. And like I said at the beginning of the episode, like a day in Hawaii without being in your swim trunks, you got to question, was it really a day in Hawaii? The ocean is calling our names. The pool is calling our names. We still have about a couple hours before dinner, so let's get some pool time in before we get ready for a dinner at Deck, which is going to be way down here on the other end of Waikiki Beach.
We made it to the beach. We're out here on Waikiki Beach, just swimming in the Pacific Ocean.
Not sure how the audio is because I have this in a waterproof case, but do you see how clear the water is
It's
too?
not that clear today, though. It's actually a little.
Actually, yeah, it was clearer yesterday, wasn't it?
Color, but it's not as clear today right now.
But look down here. So that's the Sheraton Hotel, and then there's our Royal Hawaiian Pink Palace, and then you got the Outrigger, and then the Moana Surf Rider, and lots of other hotels, and then there's Diamond Head. Just a glorious day on Waikiki Beach.
So after our driving tour, we went out to the ocean and we floated around for a little bit. And now we're back at the pool here at the Royal Hawaiian. And Scott just ordered I think a farmer's market mule.
Farmer's Market Mule, yeah.
It sounded really good. So we just ordered a drink from the pool and she's going to bring it out in a little bit and we'll see how that is.
Yeah, pool. This it's kind of funny. This might be the busiest I've actually seen this pool, but
Well, no, during the day it's busy. Like,
Yeah.
we just don't come here.
that's true. But the ocean was great. It was kind of awesome. Like not trying to lay down a beach towel or anything. We just like went straight in.
Yeah, we didn't wear any cover-ups or anything. We just like had our swimsuits and our water shoes and walked straight from our room out into the ocean and then just walked straight back into the pool.
It was awesome. But look at this. Ooh, so much fun. I love the Royal Hawaiian. But now it's time to get up on my chair somewhere back here, have a little cocktail before we start getting ready for dinner. You excited for dinner?
I am. I'm actually really hungry.
I know. Always has that
The
cheeseburger, really.
hungriest I've been on this trip.
So I hope it's good. Would today be a 1 shaka or 2 shakas?
2 shots.
We didn't really talk about our Royal Hawaiian Bakery breakfast this morning. You went with something different today. How was it?
Yeah, so I got the royal custard croissant and it had like pink stripes on it. I thought it was pretty good. It was, a sweet croissant. It had like a vanilla custard maybe in it, and then there was also a bit of like a raspberry jam here and there, and it was pretty good.
What about the pink one? What was that called?
The cronut, the pink cronut.
Yeah.
That also had the same custard in it. So I did not personally want that because I felt like it was just more croissant essentially. It was good. It was totally fine.
I think it was more of an Instagram kind of.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I didn't really need a croissant with a side of croissant.
Oh man, it's so nice out here. Look at me. Oh, anyway, I went with the. Oh, my drink's coming. You're just chilling.
I'm like chilly.
You're chilly.
right now.
Look at you.
Well, the water was so warm, and then I got out, and there was a little bit of a breeze.
I know. But look what just arrived. The Farmer's Market Mule. Look at that baby.
Looks good.
Let's get into it.
So the server recommended this drink. It's called the Farmer's Market Mule. It sounded really good. It has muddled strawberries and then vodka and ginger beer, I think. I don't know if there's anything else in it, but all of that sounded really good.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the island,
When we did make our way to the Polynesian Cultural Center, we got our tickets, and I think we had 3 or 4 hours, I think 4 hours to explore the Polynesian Cultural Center before we had to meet back at like the home base for the buffet dinner. So at the Polynesian Cultural Center, if you've never been there, it's super cool. They have, they call it like the Disneyland of Hawaii, which I can kind of see because they have like 6 different themed areas, each themed for a different Polynesian culture. And they have demonstrations, they have like crafts you can do, lots of dancing, and just like ways to immerse yourself in the culture. So some of my favorite things, we started off going on like a boat ride that takes you all the way to the back of this cultural center. So it was kind of, and you get some like narration throughout, you like learn how to say like hello in all the Polynesian languages or something. And it's very like lush with you see the river pretty much wherever you are. And then another thing, my friends and I got to make a fish out of like not bamboo, but palm tree leaves. So we got to make a fish out of that, which is really cool. And then we carried those fish around for the rest of the day and kept like throwing them at people. And there's also this dance we got to see that was really cool. So it was I really enjoyed the Polynesian Cultural Center. So we ended up taking the boat back to the front where we met for dinner. And so for dinner, it was a buffet. And so we had like our own part of the buffet. It was a huge building, but like a part of the restaurant was kind of like reserved for us. And I think the buffet was pretty good. It wasn't the best, but like in comparison to some of the food we've been eating, it was pretty good. I was kind of hungry, so I don't know. It's buffet. It's a buffet. What can you say? It's buffet. So after that, though, we all got in our groups and we had just like 15 minutes to kind of look through all like the shops they have outside of the Polynesian Cultural Center. I can't remember the name of it, if it's like the Polynesian Cultural Marketplace or something, but they have some shops there. We went there on our last trip to Oahu. So we got to explore for a little bit before we got to go to our seats to watch The Breath of Life. And if you are a fan of Phantasmic like me, then you're gonna get some similar like Phantasmic vibes from this theater, because you're sitting, it's like rounded, there's a stage, there's all these like trees, and I sat down and I'm like, okay, I didn't really have expectations for The Breath of Life, but I sat down and I'm like, oh, this is gonna exceed those expectations. So you follow the life of, I can't remember the guy's name, but you follow like the stages of his life, and for each stage of the life, it coincides with a different Polynesian culture. So like the birth is one culture, getting married is another culture, death is one culture, but it's very well told story. Each one has its own dance and its own like explanation of the culture, and it was really good. The best part though had to be the fire dancers at the end. There was like 18 fire dancers. It was crazy. And it was just like very good. They had lots of fire, I think they had some like water at some point, like act as like a volcano. It was really cool. I really enjoyed The Breath of Life. But that lasted until like 9-10 o'clock. And so we just hopped back on the bus, made the hour drive back to our hotel. And it was pretty late night by then, so we just kind of went to bed. But it was a really good day exploring the North Shore and the Polynesian Cultural Center.
Aloha! We have changed, we're freshened up from the pool and the beach, and we're ready to go to dinner. We're going to Deck tonight, which is about a 15-minute stroll from the Royal Hawaiian. Since it's only a 15-minute walk, we're just gonna leave the car where it's parked and take a little walk tonight.
Especially because parking can be tricky around this area.
Exactly. Look how cute Liz's dress is. I love it. I'm sticking with the same Aloha shirt as I did earlier. Trust me, I did not get sweaty or stinky. It smells good. I smell good. But let's take a little stroll over to Deck.
Deck is an open-air restaurant located at the Queen Kapiolani Hotel in Waikiki. Scott picked this one because it's super close to Diamond Head, and after hiking it yesterday, we thought that it would be cool to check out the view from a different angle, preferably one involving food. Now we'll be honest, the menu didn't exactly blow us away at first glance, but the vibe felt unique to Waikiki, and with those views, we figured that it was worth checking out.
We're just walking to dinner here, and we see this tiki sign, and above it says the Twin Fin. So this hotel, this building right here that looks ginormous, is called the Twin Fin, and that's where Emilee's staying. We're walking by her hotel. A future portrait on this wall, right there. All right, we made it to the Queen Kapiolani Hotel. We are on the 3rd floor here at Deck, and I'm going to drop in this amazing view from our table here. We got the open air. We're out on the deck at Deck. Our table has an incredible view of Diamond Head, which we hiked yesterday. Like, just gonna throw that in there. But very cool view. I'm curious what's gonna happen when it gets dark. There are, looks like some tiki torches around here. They did put a little illuminated candle on our table. The menu is kind of interesting. They have like a little happy hour going on right now, which we actually ordered a couple things from. And then there's just like some fish tacos, obviously, and some other like, you know, things, some sushi, some hot plates. There's even like a pizza on there. I went with the fish tacos and some bao buns. I believe Liz got a short rib. We got some guacamole and a couple Mai Tais to share. Not to share, we each got our own Mai Tai. But very curious to see how this is all going to turn out. It just kind of comes fresh when it's ready from the kitchen, so we'll see what comes up first.
I've got the not your average Mai Tai. It has like a hibiscus and blueberry infused syrup in it, I guess. So we'll see how it is.
Here's Mai Tai of the day. Ha, get it? Mai Tai a day. Anyway, I just went with a classic, but it doesn't look very classic. It looks very clear. Very unusual. I don't know if this is right. Got our guacamole. Here's Liz's short rib. Looks pretty yum.
Pretty good.
Fish tacos. Would it be a meal in Oahu without some fish tacos?
It looks like you just got all
And then some bao buns. I'm just excited to eat. And then we got this great backdrop. And a questionable Mai Tai.
We had a really nice time just enjoying the weather, chatting about our day, and soaking in that beautiful Waikiki sunset. Scott's Mai Tai wasn't exactly a tropical masterpiece, and he may need to make up for that later. But overall, it was an okay meal with a great view. We're glad that we tried it, but it's probably not a place that we'll be rushing back to anytime soon. At least that sunset didn't disappoint. Since this was our last night staying at the Royal Hawaiian, we had to make one more visit to one of our favorite spots so far, the Mai Tai Bar. It felt like the perfect way to wrap up this chapter of our trip. Tropical drinks, ocean views, a delicious dessert, and yes, a much better Mai Tai this time around. The Royal Hawaiian has definitely earned its spot as a must-see adventure.
We are back at the Mai Tai Bar. We'll talk about deck a little later, but my Mai Tai, I don't even know what that was. I wouldn't even classify as a Mai Tai.
That was not a Mai Tai.
It was not. Liz can confirm. It was kind of gross. But we had a good laugh. We enjoyed dinner a lot actually, but we were just kind of cracking up about my Mai Tai basically. How I was like breathing out fire because it was like flames and whatever that they gave me. It was really weird, but had to come back to the Mai Tai Bar to get a real Mai Tai tonight. And I think we're going to try that pink classic dessert. It's really dark, not sure how it's going to show up here, but it's our last night at the Royal Hawaiian, so we have to get some dessert, right? We were smart. We knew we were going to get dessert at dinner, so we swung by the Mai Tai Bar, and let's close out a great day.
I decided that I've had enough Mai Tais, and I was...
What?
I know, for today. I mean, I had a not your average Mai Tai for dinner.
You won the Mai Tai game earlier,
I did. Mine
especially
was
at dinner.
actually really good, so I don't know what happened to Scott's. I can vouch for him, though, that it was really bad. But I decided to go for the Espresso by the Sea, which is an espresso martini, if you'd ever figure that out. So yeah, it looks, I can't really see it very well.
I know, we got the pink light going on here.
It's just gonna be like
yeah.
a pink drink.
We just know it's going to be delicious, and there are 3 espresso beans on there.
There are. I could do like a...
Oh, no, let's not do that.
Okay.
I went with the Royal Hawaiian Mai Tai tonight. This is what Liz ordered the first night.
It was so good.
I mean, she's been talking about it, so I got to go with this. That's really great.
That's what a real Mai Tai looks like. It's not clear. It doesn't have a weird piece of dried fruit in it. I don't know.
Right. I mean, the Mai Tai Bar should know how to make a real Mai Tai. But yeah, but I like the umbrella. It's got the pineapple. It's got the flower, the lime. This is what a Mai Tai should be, and it's delicious. We also have 2 desserts coming as well. Don't know if this is picking up, but my man out here's got a metal detector. He's looking for some good stuff.
So we got a couple of the signature desserts here at the Mai Tai Bar.
Sorry to interrupt though. The musician just started playing Emerson, Lake and Palmer, which is awesome. Like, I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but in the beginning, great song. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Liz.
So, as I was saying, we got a couple of the signature desserts from the Royal Hawaiian here at the Mai Tai Bar. The first one we've been seeing for like the whole week. They had it at the bakery as well, but we haven't tried it yet. And it is the pink snowball. And that is a vanilla sponge cake with halvia cream, which is basically, it's coconut. And then it's rolled in pink coconut. So it should be good. It's served with some fruit.
Yeah, it looks great. Right here, it looks white.
It is definitely very pink. But Scott is not the biggest fan of coconut, so we also got the tropical cheesecake, which is another one of those desserts. And this is a cheesecake that it does still have some coconut in it, but it also has pineapple and mango, I think, too. So it's more of a refreshing tropical cheesecake. Looks like it's served with some pineapple.
I'm really excited. I saw the pineapple on the side. It got me really excited
The
for
fresh
it.
pineapple looks really good. So let's get into them and see how they are.
Let's do it. Well, that's a wrap on a glorious day here in Waikiki. Just so many amazing things and sights that we saw today.
We did.
But we didn't talk about deck. So deck was kind of interesting. I thought it was going to be like not as casual as it was. If that makes sense? It's weird. The camera has this like green box over my head as we do this. It's just like I am the focus or something.
You are the focus.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's me, but
I'm just in the dark in the corner.
You're just in the dark enjoying the waves, but it was still a good dinner. Like the food just came out so fast. Like we ordered it, and then bam, it was like all on the table.
I feel like we had our drinks, and then within just like a couple of minutes, it was every single food item that we ordered, all at the same time.
Right.
And we had ordered like an appetizer, and I don't know. I mean,
it was still good though. I enjoyed it.
It was fine. Yeah. It just I had to eat my entree before I ate any of our chips and guac because I wasn't gonna let it get cold while I ate chips.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm looking out because there's a plane just like going over our heads, and we got a beautiful sky tonight with all the stars. But
it is a really pretty night.
It was a great day. So we just walked around the main strip here, crazy stuff with like human statues, magic tricks, and just kind of chaotic, really.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like, I don't know, like a Times Square or Broadway in Nashville. Just like the energy and like the amount of people and all of the different like performers and different things like that are out trying to make about.
Yeah, can't blame them for trying. I mean, there's a lot of tourists here, but you know where it feels less touristy is here at the Royal Hawaiian. We finished off the night with those great desserts and drinks, and just catching some waves before we head back to the room and call it a day. So thanks for hanging out and watching another episode of Must See Adventures. I hope you learned some things. I hope you had fun watching us explore the island of Oahu, and we will see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, please.